There was a remarkable meeting one morning in Oak Ridge this summer. It had been a week of horrific headlines, one after another, that kept coming and left the nation shaken. And so on that morning, leaders were gathered around the table here in Oak Ridge wondering, what should we say, how should we respond here in Oak Ridge? What could we do to offer assurance and hope to our people? And of course, inevitably, someone put forth the idea, well, why not a candlelight vigil? And I heard around the table, as if in one breath, a collective sigh. No, not another candlelight vigil. Not one more time. We've had too many. And so we left that meeting. We got up from that table, deciding not to do anything, not to act on anything or to say anything, but instead to just move forward holding the questions in our hearts. I find it remarkable because I think so often leaders are compelled to act decisively and so rarely are able to confess that we don't always know or we're not always sure. And so I admired how that deliberation together resolved. And yet I want to tell you about one way that a community acted boldly in June in the wake of tragedy. This was the week right after the shooting in Orlando at the nightclub. All those young people caught up in the midst of life, dancing, living, loving, and in walks horror and terror beyond what I can imagine. And so that week, in the nights after, there were candlelight vigils, there were prayer gatherings. But one church in downtown Boston did something different. They said, you know, we're not going to gather in silence and in somber quiet. We're going to have a dance party. And I've been thinking about that as a way to respond to horror and tragedy and heartbreak. I think about it as defiant joy, not allowing those who seek vengeance or horror or violence to rob us of joy, but instead to be defiant in our dancing, even as tears flow down our cheeks, even as our hearts are broken, even as we're not sure how we will go on as a nation or a community or a world, that we would keep dancing, that we would keep insisting on the practice of joy. And I wonder about that for you in your life. Are you able, even acknowledging and seeing all around us, the questions, the fears, the division, are you able to keep in some way practicing joy? That's my challenge and my invitation to you this coming week. Let's dance together. Let's meet each other out on the dance floor, even with our questions, even as we don't know what the next step might be.